Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the Week 11 Battle Royale strategy guide. We have got a great slate. Honestly, this is so much better than last week's slate. I think there are some pretty secret plays here early in the week. I think this is a pretty strong week to be drafting early in the Battle Royale streets. We'll, of course, again, be max entering the main Battle Royale. We'll be doing the video today. We'll be doing the video on Thursday with the Endgame Syndicate fellas. So let's find a way to make some winners. It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer. All right, folks, we are here. We have another $7 main Battle Royale, $40,000 to first place yet again, 48,156 entrants. Last week, very simple winner last week, by the way. Not one that you would have had to have been, you would not have had to have had a galaxy brain to win. You could see I had a pretty, honestly, let's be real, pretty bad week. Only got $252 back. Did have a bunch up here who were kind of skating around. This was my best team: Jalen Hurts, Christian McCaffrey, James Conner, AJ Brown, Drake London, and TJ Hawkinson. The winning team, effectively what they did was they skipped the second round. So instead of taking, they didn't skip it. They jumped a couple spots in ADP. They did a naked Jalen Hurts after selecting Bijan Robinson. Then they selected Travis Kelce. Then, I guess, depending on when this draft did, they either took London or Pickens first. You could kind of do that whenever. Then they selected James Conner with their final selection. You might remember, by the way, that very famously one Mr. Nerdy Tenor on the show on Thursday was having us hammer James Conner. Zach is in the chat at 9:40 a.m., which means he's a successful businessman and CEO. Yeah, make sure that you come on over to this whole cast after this. This stream, by the way, is going to redirect immediately into the Week 11 First Look, the only First Look show in the industry. This whole cast, Clay, is watching this one on the call with the IRS. That is what we call managing your time. That is a grind. Now, folks, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm assuming these might, these are probably going to be a little bit slow early in the week. These might not fill up. We immediately got one filled. The first thing, we got the 6th pick, which I'm not loving. I'm not loving the turn pick. We do have a new camera angle, basically. So I have a brand new computer set up. So I have a big wide monitor right here. I have my brand new laptop right here. But my old setup, I just used to use the camera that was on my old MacBook. So yeah, we have a whole new setup. We got the microphone in. My audio was coming in a little bit hot on the video that I did with Karain yesterday. So we are going to try and avoid that. We're going to try and avoid the audio coming in too hot. Going to turn us on just a smidgen of background music here, so that I don't drive myself insane. The new MacBook laptops with the M3 processor are like 10 times as powerful as the desktop. They have even more computing power than the Mac Studio. So it's much nicer. It's much nicer to do, and I can travel. If I need to travel, I am free. I am free to do so. So let's go ahead and make our pick here at the turn. The first thing you guys are going to notice, and by the way, I've just pulled the projections up early on Roto Grinders. Obviously, these are going to chop and change a good bit, but I do think it is, you can gain a little something. And the first thing you're going to see, there's just a lot of guys who are projected for points this week. We are in a different part of the game tree. I haven't even looked. What is Chase Brown? So the Bengals Chargers is the late night game on Sunday, so it's not on this slate. Picking here at the turn, we are gonna take. You know what? I'm taking Kyren Williams over Bijan. I am going to do it. Feels like his ADP is going to rise, and then we are going to select Tyreek Hill. The tricky thing, obviously, about taking Tyreek, who is playing with this torn wrist ligament, is you don't really always want to pair him with Tua. And I wonder if the results of the last couple weeks will have people pretty woke to basically not stacking their quarterback. Just 16 parlays. I feel that we're going to see that. By the way, a 2 tight end team was in first place in the main BR, like the whole slate. I think the optimal actually, they're like Kelce scored more points than London, and who was the other tight end? There was another tight end who got 16. So a 2 tight end team could have very easily won the main. But worth thinking about. I need to add my timestamp here. Week 10 results. So Justin Jefferson is the 1-4. I took Justin Jefferson. It was Kittle. Thank you, Peter. Kittle and Kelce could have won you the main BR last week, which is sort of interesting. It's sort of funny this week. Last week, I took Jefferson over Barkley. Now, that ended up being directionally accurate, but Jefferson only got, what did he get, like 9 points or something last week? I again really want to be on Jefferson this week. I don't think I can take him over Achane. I might take him over Henry. So we have Kyren and we have Tyreek. Well, here is a pretty easy one. Let us select. We don't have a quarterback set up. So let's take Debo so we can set up a quarterback. I know Debo has been... The Debo situation has not been great. And you know what? I don't love quarterback 3 Purdy either. So this was just a tactical mistake. Your boy... Let's toss that one out. I think Purdy's ADP is far too high. That does not feel profitable to me. But we're learning, right? We're drafting early in the week. I mean, obviously the 49ers are in this incredibly good spot. But are you wanting to be consistently drafting Purdy over Walker, over Hunt, even over Jacobs? Are we wanting to take him over Drake London, Metcalf? Hopkins looks very strong. Jayden Reed looks pretty strong. Josh Downs looks incredibly strong. I mean, how is Josh Downs the wide receiver 18? It feels like, I guess it's really just because he dropped that touchdown last week. But man, Josh Downs, if he stays steady at this price, feels like I'm going to have, 2 or 3 times the field of Josh Downs. You could actually talk me into some 3 wide receiver teams this week. I largely won't do it. But there are some guys down here, Jameson Williams, DJ Moore, Brian Thomas Jr. All of these guys I think are viable enough. Yeah. So this is FIFA's already. This is the new meta in BR. Yeah, he's saying that he's already had drafts where the last pick is done and JT and Walker are unselected. Yeah. The deal. Let's actually look at the results from last week. I'm kind of curious, how often was Kareem Hunt drafted? Because I had a huge stance on Kareem Hunt. So Hunt was 89.5% drafted. Yep, the Swolecast will be immediately after this. So if you were just on this page and you don't go anywhere, immediately when my stream is over, it's just going to redirect you right to the Week 11 Swolecast. And if you're watching this on replay, make sure that you check out the Week 11 Swolecast. All right, so we've got... I mean, it is just going to be Kareem Hunt for me, no doubt about it. I don't love him at 90%. Or who's good? Aaron Jones is probably good here. Chubb could be okay here, but let's take Hunt. And then let's finalize it. I think Njoku is going to be 2 owned. Oh, well, let's do one Mr. Taysom Hill. Now Taysom is going to get driven up. You know, Taysom is going to get Hawk is a good one. Hawk is a very good one. We will work into that for sure. First instincts, just looking at the ADP, is that David Njoku and Andrews are going to be drafted far too often, and Kraft, Pitts, Henry, Kincaid, who you can swap, Taysom, these guys look like they are all going to be a good bit. Yeah, Hunter Henry is a really good one. All right, let's hop back in. Nicholas is also on unemployment. See, he's sitting there. He's hanging out. He's not going anywhere. He's down. He's down to watch this Woolcast immediately after this. Shout out to Nicholas. You're living the dream, brother. Or maybe not. Maybe you're not living the dream. We got the turn pick again. Don't love that. Don't love that. By the way, Kareem Hunt, 89.5% drafted, ended up on a bunch of these top teams. I mean, how do I not have this team? I guess because I'm correlating my stuff too much. So that is something that I'm thinking about this week. So last week I took Pickens 7 times, and I took him with Russell Wilson 3 times. So that's not as bad as I thought. I wonder what my best Pickens team was. Bijan, Brees ruined that one. Downs, Flacco. Of course it was a Flacco team. Why wouldn't it be? I feel confident in keeping Achane over Henry. Where I am concerned is that, you know, that wide receiver drop off is just so massive. Look at this. 17 points for Jefferson, 16 for Wilson, 15 for St. Brown. Really high projections on the Jets guys again. I wonder that probably won't hold. That is bbmdb.com. bbmdb.com. It also has all the actual Best Ball Mania databases as well. No, I have not looked at anything for Thursday night yet. Maybe we will later. Yeah, look how much people... So Garrett Wilson, 26.0. Adams, 33.4. No one wants these guys. No one wants them. You know what? Let's live a little. Let's take Lamar on this one. Let's take Lamar and let's do Alvin Kamara. Because that is one of the things that Brian has really been talking about and hammering in, has been the combinatorial ownership. And I think it is worth consciously thinking about. Like, you just, in general, you don't just want to be tapping the guys who are not correlated at all. I will be consciously trying to avoid those spots as much as possible. Like, I don't know, what's another good one? Probably we'll see a lot of Pickens and Brees and Cup, Bowers and Pickens, Bowers and Brees. Like, those combinations will be overrepresented, and you can check those combos in the draft caddy. I don't have it pulled up right now, but we'll have those pulled up on the Thursday show. You really do just want to be avoiding these. And look, they're giving Zay Flowers away too. I definitely this week do prefer Zay Flowers to Mark Andrews, by the way. We'll do Flowers. And we already have our quarterback. So when you already have your quarterback, I do think you want to be taking Cup. Now, the Cooper Cup stuff from last night, not great, right? Let's take a look at his usage. Brees has been semi-ass. I'm not going full ass. I think it's more team ass problems for for him. I when I watch Brees, I'm not like, oh, this guy absolutely stinks. I don't think that at all. So let's take a look at the Los Angeles Rams week 9 and 10 usage. Kupp last night, 90% of routes, 18% of targets. I mean, yeah, Puka did dominate him. We were so heavy on Puka 2 weeks ago, and he got ejected against the Seahawks. Man, that was so annoying. But by and large, the thing that I'm trying to avoid, and maybe I didn't do that great of a job. Well, no, I think I did fine with it here. Correlations like this, a ton of Lamar and Flowers together, I think is fine. Like, for example, Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown together were on 21.2% of, that's back to the BBN data board. Hurts and Brown. So they were drafted on 1,800 teams together. And Hurts was on 7,868. So those correlations, honestly, seem more than fine to me. More like 4 times as many total Jalen Hurts teams as Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown teams. And that was even kind of a function of ADP. But basically the logic is there. You want the correlations to be doing something for your team. You don't just want them to be a factor of average draft position. It's not about not liking Andrews. It's more about Andrews is going to be overdrafted relative to his projection. Flowers is going to be underdrafted relative to his projection. We need a little something unique here. So let's do Aaron Jones. I think you could get away with James Cook. Hunt is definitely my favorite here. But let's just scroll a smidgen to Aaron Jones. And then let's select This is a good Kyle Pitts team. Actually, you know what? No. Evan Engram. We're going to take Evan Engram. 62% targets for the Jaguars last week were to the tight ends. Isn't that crazy? I mean, not that Mac Jones is any good, but couldn't Evan Engram see the most targets of anyone at the tight end position this week? In general, I feel like one of the spots that it's easiest to have strong strategy at is at tight end, because people clearly do it in such a linear way. So looking at the tight end position, Kittle and Kelce, and these projections have Kincaid in, they don't know. So Kittle and Kelce, far and away the options you want. But they're going to be drafted at roughly the same rate as these guys who project for like no points. Andrews, Hawkinson, Kyle Pitts. Pitts won't be drafted that often. Laporta will get drafted a good bit. But effectively, the field is clearly the worst at tight end. The field, the position that it does the worst at is tight end. So let's take an example from last week. Let's look at what Taysom Hill was drafted. Taysom was drafted 56% of the time. How often was Kyle Pitts drafted? Kyle Pitts was drafted 20% of the time, and Hunter Henry was drafted 13% of the time. Hawkinson was drafted 15% of the time. So basically, what is happening is people are undervaluing projected points at the tight end position, and they are overvaluing ADP. They're overvaluing what you've already, what is laid ahead of you. They are not viewing ADP as a social construct, right? They are viewing ADP as something to be hewed to. And honestly, it's kind of psychological in a sense, because you spend a lot of time on the dog app. You spend a lot of time drafting Best Ball Mania and all these puppies and everything. You learn that ADP has got real value, but the value of ADP and BR is so much less. There's so much less information going into it compared to, think about how many entries and how much money is in a Best Ball Mania ADP set versus what is in a BR set. Is Brian Thomas Jr. a 0 now? He's not a 0, but you can't be feeling good about him. You know, the Mac Jones era ended so poorly in New England, and he really looked awful. I mean, he really did. And let's freaking go. Justin Jefferson. I am going to take him over Achane here just because when I opened the window, I was so excited to take him. Curious your opinion on this. If you had a $500 weekly bankroll, would you rather put that in DFS or in BR? Me personally, I think if I could only do one, right now I find Battle Royale more fun. Like I just think it is more interesting. There's more strategy elements. There's more gamesmanship and things like that. Like I just feel it's a newer format. It's more novel. I think people are probably worse at it. Whereas like everyone you're playing against in salary cap DFS is just going to be pretty good. They're going to have access to projections and good content and all of that stuff. So yeah, I think if I could only play $500 of action, it would probably be BR. Yeah, I ended up with a 90% Jonas Valanciunas in hoops last night, Ashton. So I feel you. See, and this is why you take Jefferson. Look at how good these running backs are versus the wide receivers that are available. Puka we do really like. I think what the projections have? Kamara versus Gibbs. Kamara for 22.36. Gibbs for 14.13. Well, sure. Let's take. Actually, you know what? No, let's take Puka. That will be very combinatorially unique right there. And we can either take a naked quarterback. So we could take. Who are the naked running quarterbacks this week? Well, there really aren't. Now that Richardson and Fields are gone, there is a little bit less of that back door. But some of the back doors that are open this week, you've got Love and Kraft, Russell Wilson and Freiermuth, Tua and Geno. You can always take Stafford with Puka. You can always take Darnold and Hawkinson. You could take Geno and Fant, Jameis and Tillman, Rodgers and Devontae Adams, Cousins and Pitts. Couple different ways that you can. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Bo Nix. There's your back door. And he's like a pretty good one this week. All right. Well, there. I was almost going to take Jahmyr Gibbs with my last pick anyways. Man. You know what? No, I'm taking Breece Hall, dude. Breece Hall just has to project for more points. Breece Hall is a better click. FIFA Flow is in the same boat as him, and what he is trying to do is max the Wildcat because it's a little under $500 to max, and the plan is to make it top 3 1 week, and then I'll move over to the main BR. That's basically what I'm doing in NBA. So what I'm doing in NBA BR is I am doing the smaller contests in NBA BR because I don't even have a process right now. Like I'm mostly just clicking buttons. And if you're doing that, but putting thousands of dollars behind it, that's a quick way to lose a couple $1,000. So while I learn the lay of the land, I'm just playing the smaller dollar contest and trying to figure it out. All right. So our options are Njoku at tight end. I don't think you want Breece and Taylor in the same game. Let's do Bowers. Let's do Bowers against this Dolphins defense. Man, Guillaume, Trying to make up for that Cowboys money line bet from 2015. Yeah, I'll never forget it. I really won't. That was back when Bitcoin sports books were pretty big. And I put a 0.5 Bitcoin wager on the Dallas Cowboys against the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'll never ever forget it. How much should Barclays advance rate drop? It dropped a lot. It dropped a ton. I think it dropped like 10 or 15 percentage points. Run Good Rick is saying for NBA, he'd rather do small volume in the main versus buzzer beater, just because when you get the one outlier lineup, you want to take that to the bank, and it's a $2. So that is valid. What I have been doing is I've been auto drafting the buzzer beater and then hand drafting a couple in the main. And it's not been going great. So in general, it's kind of difficult for two running backs in the same game to get there, because generally speaking, when running backs are having a very good game, they are limiting the total number of possessions that the other running back can have. So like if you think about it, what's a really good Jonathan Taylor game? Well, a really good Jonathan Taylor game is probably 24 rushes, 157 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he is speeding the game up in a way that limits the total number of possessions. Now, you could tell me I'm an idiot and that's wrong, and I very, very well might be. Very well could be the case. All right, let's see what are the raw Monday or Tuesday projections have Bo Nix for versus Stafford. Now they got Stafford better. We're going to take Stafford with Puka. Again, don't love it. I really don't. Yes, yeah. Dolphins winning last night was absolutely massive for your Achane, Tyreek, Waddle, whatever teams. Yeah, I don't love taking Stafford in these games, right? Because he is very unlikely to be the nuke guy that you need for a given slate. But as we've seen the last couple weeks, well, there is no passing bonus on Underdog, sir. These projections I'm looking at are also they're completely unedited. Yes, Bitcoin was under $500 in 2015. 0.5 Bitcoin was like nothing. I don't know if it's Rome season. That's an interesting one this week, though. Wow, we get the 101. Let's do McCaffrey. So the Bears are very interesting this week. Look at these ADPs. 36, 36, 36, 36. You can get any Bears player you want, and you can get, man, how many Bears stacks are there even going to be? Oh, they are the FanDuel projections. Obviously, so yes, you are not wrong. Those are the FanDuel projections, but the FanDuel projections are going to hew closer because they don't have it's not full PPR. True. Yeah. This is a good point. Yeah, how many Bears stacks are there even going to be? It's a good question. And at what rate are they profitable? It's not a particularly good matchup. I don't think that Thomas Brown is going to come in and he's definitely not going to immediately fix that entire offensive situation. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to happen. Cliff Kingsbury is coming all the way back. Cliff Kingsbury, or someone of that ilk, is coming all the way back around. The Bears are for sure going to hire a retread. Man, starting with McCaffrey is such a cheat code. Could be a week where if you don't get the 101, you just got to press the plane. He came back. All right, bang. Well, let's just do Kamara Yeah, Kamara. And let's get weird and take Pickens, and then we're gonna do a weird second stack. So I'm trying to there's a happy medium to be found here between really unique teams that are not going to be duplicated by your opponents or even come close to overlapping with your opponents, but also you don't want to be giving up too much projection. So I was looking at some of the teams that I made last week. Like, for example, Flacco and Downs just really doesn't... Like, Flacco would have to throw like 47 passes or something. Or I did a Baker, Sterling Shepard, and it's like, man, what are you really hoping to accomplish there? That just feels like you are giving up far too much in terms of projection. So I'm trying to trim some of those teams out of my BR diet. This absolutely could be a scroll down for David Montgomery as running back 2 week. No doubt about it. Easy. It's just so, like, what was weird was Gibbs ended up playing a ton in that Texans game. He got 19 rushes, but the score line was weird in that Sunday night game. I think it's very unlikely the score line ends up being weird here. All right. So let's do... You know what? Let's do DK Metcalf and Geno. That's a good... I mean, we've seen Geno be a shipper. 2 weeks ago? Peter got second place. Peter won $20,000 with Geno. He's going to be totally undrafted, totally unowned this week. And if Metcalf doesn't play, we've got swaps. We will swap to Jackson Smith and Jigba. You just move JSN a good bit up your ranks. I could see Geno being one of the important guys this week, where I don't think he'll go back to blah, but I just don't know what to make. I've changed my opinion and my mind so many times. All right. You know what? We took an off the wall quarterback, so let's just take Njoku here. By the way, look at the players who are undrafted in this: Debo, Flowers, Wilson, London, Montgomery, Kareem Hunt. I mean, these guys going undrafted, it's crazy. Something the field seems to be getting better at is drafting guys at their optimal rates. And I mean, for our purposes, that's not great. We would think that we just want the field to be drafting off of ADP and to be very predictable. But what's clear, I don't know. Let's look at Drake London last week. Drake London was drafted 83.4% of the time. Mooney was drafted 53.6% of the time. Devontae Adams, that's a good one. He was like wide receiver 7, so he was almost 100% drafted, but not quite. But even Adams was not drafted 100% of the time. James Cook last week was drafted 83% of the time. So all of that is to say, the field is definitely getting better at knowing who should be drafted what percentage of the time. And like I said, for our purposes, that's not that great. We would prefer for there to be a lot of mistakes made there. We would prefer for Jonathan Taylor to be drafted 100% of the time over David Montgomery, or we would prefer Drake London to be 100% of the time drafted over DeAndre Hopkins, essentially. Because we want inefficiencies to exist. One of the things that Dan has pointed out in his stuff is that there are actually very few players based on the projections who should be drafted 100% of the time. Like that number is actually pretty low. Like, I think last week there was only 5 wide receivers and 6 running backs who should have been drafted 100% of the time. And then the field actually ended up basically mimicking that, which I don't know. Are we? I know, no caps lock. It should have been how to all caps win $40,000 in fantasy football. Yeah, I think this is right. I think it might be going all the way back. Oh damn. CHR17 pipped me and selected Justin Jefferson at 2. And oh goodness gracious. All right, well, let's suck it up and take Derrick Henry. I don't love that at all. In fact, I hate it. I don't hate it, but not great. Dabrowski, what's up, sir? How we doing? All right. Well, this will be a unique pairing. St. Brown, because those just don't line up in ADP at all. So let's just do that. And you can always take a Goff if you want. Yeah, the field did that with Gibbs for sure. Oh man, I can't wait. I cannot wait. It should be like soon. It should be like literally any moment. Like it could literally be today. Oh, there's a 75% profit boost in NBA tonight. In fact, I'm going to check right now. Is it there yet? Not there yet, but it's coming. Playoff best ball is coming. I cannot wait for it. Okay, you start Henry, St. Brown. So, God, quarterback is pretty flat this week. I mean, look at the Mahomes projected for 15.9. That's so good. It could definitely be love Jayden Reed season. Jayden Reed is not going to get drafted. They just had their bye week. He should be close to. In fact, you know what? Let's do that on this team. Why not? They can't stop us. We'll do Kittle. Yeah, we'll do Kittle. We'll take any running back, and then we're going to do Jayden Reed. I do, but they're not up until 3. I do have the so ask me in the TakeCast Discord, buddy, or the YouTube member Discord, and I will share with you whatever the top picks are. GM. How we doing? You know what? I'm ready to call it. I'm ready to call it very early in this. Jordan Love and Jayden Reed are the skeleton key. That's how you do it. That's how you do it this week, boys. Let's do Kareem Hunt, Jordan Love, Jayden Reed. Yeah, these guys are the skeleton key. I'm gonna be way overweight on this pairing. So let's go back to week 9. Look at how often Jayden Reed was drafted. Jayden Reed was drafted 20.9% of the time. No one's taken him this week. He's the wide receiver 16. Love won't be 100% drafted. He'll probably be closer to 50 or 60% drafted overall, so that equals out as like a much lower number of the pool. That'll mean he'll be like 8% owned or something like that in the total pool, maybe even a little bit less. It is basically it's Jayden Reed gets healthy, Love gets healthy. Remember, Love had the groin injury. They've had the time off. Reed is you could sprinkle, you could do a couple Dobbs. I got absolutely no issue with that. Great. And look, we could even see the Bears push them if firing the coach does in fact work, but we are going to see really low relative ownership on them. Looks like he's not even in. Am I blind? It looks like he's not even in the projections, right? Yeah, he's not even in the projections right now. So let's take Reed first, just in case. Reed first. Maybe one of you guys are out there ready to snipe me. Yeah, very frustrating Packer season. We've got Dontavian Wicks out here dropping every pass that heads his direction. Don't love that. Oh man. Wow, that feels really good to realize the skeleton key on a Tuesday. I thought I was going to have to fight all week to find that spot, but it's pretty evident. Multiple 30-point games on the year for Jayden Reed. Multiple 25-plus point games from Jordan Love on the year. It's beautiful. Welcome to the team. So that's our first skeleton key accomplished. Bang. I agree. I think that they were so banged up. Like Jordan Love has been injured multiple times already this season. I definitely agree with this. Pacheco 21-day practice window open. So that's an interesting situation. What does it mean? Does that mean Kareem Hunt is going to be benched? Does that mean that Kareem Hunt is going to be in a timeshare? Does that mean Pacheco is healthy? The thing you got to remember about this injury that Pacheco had, it's the same injury that Tony Pollard had, and he was still bad a year later. It was the same injury that had Mark Andrews looking so bad to begin the season. I just don't know if Isaiah Pacheco is going to come back in. If anything, he will probably, sort of ruin the vibes for Kareem Hunt. Not ruin the vibes, but he's basically just going to make it difficult for Kareem Hunt to get the necessary workload. So maybe what's the actionable way this week? Maybe the actionable thing over the next couple weeks is Reed knows they're getting Pacheco back. So it's time for the rocket ships. It's just time to give the ball to Kareem Hunt until he pukes. Man, I'm going to have to keep piling in these drafts because I don't have any Devin Achane yet. I'm going to have to just do maybe I'll play in the wild card this week or the Wildcat because I want chances to get as many Devin Achane and Justin Jefferson teams as possible. It's a real Sophie's choice. Yeah, and I think this is going to happen. I do think we're going to see Jefferson's ADP rise a little bit. I wouldn't be nervous about it this week. I don't think he's going to be back this week. I mean, dude, he is less than 3 months removed from fracturing a bone in his leg. All right, whatever, Lamar. Let's do it. And let's do Lamar unstacked on this one. So we'll play this as the Lamar rushing. Steelers did do a great job containing Jayden Daniels as a rusher last week, but I got to be honest, not great. Bears defense better than expected. Lose the Lions, lose your next game. Yeah, I don't know about that. But maybe. Let's do Lamar and Kelce. That'll be a fun pairing. I mean, honestly, the Packers losing is fun. Interceptions in a weird way. Yeah, I think we can click Hunt late this week and not sweat, basically. I think Hunt is a fine click this week in BR. Maybe not that good of a click next week. The Kelce, by the way. I mean, this guy Is there a tight end who's even close to him? I guess these are the two guys. It's Kittle, it's Kelce, it's Bowers, and then kind of everyone else. And if you remove, like basically if we remove all the Rashee Rice game, so if it's just after the Rashee Rice stuff, I mean, man, the Chiefs, bro. So Rashee Rice gets injured. Look at these numbers for Kelce. And these were in games that like didn't even really matter. Now they're going up again this game against the Bills. It does feel like Kelce is sort of one of the most important ones to get right this week. I would like to have more than the field of Travis Kelce for sure. Jameis revenge. Well, is Jameis mad at the New Orleans Saints? Man, I am gonna have a lot of Breece Hall this week. There's just really no way around it. How do you not click him there? It is gonna be 2017 Chiefs. The Bills are pretty banged up too, but Kelce is gonna have double-digit targets. I mean, he almost had 2 touchdowns last week. Mahomes just missed him. I think in my opinion, you want Kelce a good bit over Kittle this week. And like, I do think you want Kelce over your St. Browns, over your Josh Allen. It's like Josh Allen is a bad pick this week. I think it's unlikely that Allen is able to find his way into the optimal this week. Just my opinion. Just my opinion, though. Let's do... Oh, let's do Ken Walker here. Good spot. Good spot for Ken. What's your favorite game? Well, this is not true. He's not in a timeshare with Braylon Allen. It's not even particularly close how much more he's playing than Braylon Allen. Yeah, it's not a timeshare. Not a timeshare. Like this dude, utilization score much. I mean, 3 times what Braylon Allen's is, 4 times what Braylon Allen is. My favorite game in DFS this week. I don't know. Probably Baltimore, Pittsburgh. No, Seattle, San Francisco. Seattle, San Francisco for sure. I don't think Breece Hall ever blocks. Does Breece Hall have any blocking snaps? He plays all the 2-minute drill. He plays all the long down and distance. He's got 16% target share. And I don't think Breece Hall ever blocks. I can look it up. Yeah, I guess it feels like probably the sentiment on Breece Hall is very far off of reality, so that probably makes him one of the Skelton key picks this week. Breece Hall blocking. Breece Hall has 76 blocking snaps out of 478 total snaps all year. So no blocking snaps for Breece. Just kind of know. Every running back gets there against Indianapolis too. All right. Well, Flowers is still there, but no, I specifically want to do. So let's do Debo on the other side there. And Josh Downs. That is easy. Yeah, in fact, let's see. This is just a good one. Where's Breece Hall at in utilization rate overall? Breece Hall is 8th in the NFL in utilization rate, better than Barkley, better than Pollard, better than Taylor, better than Achane, Kareem Hunt, Aaron Jones. Yeah, I fear, dude, I'd take Ridley. You do not want You do not want a Trey Lance or a Cooper Rush as wide receiver 1, I don't think. I don't know, man. Maybe that's wrong. Select Josh Downs here. Speaking of Josh Downs, by the way, check out this utilization. Wide receivers, Colts. Look at this targets per route run for Josh Downs. 31%. And this is including the Anthony Richardson games. I mean, 31% has got to be pretty close to the best in the entire NFL. Let's do a minimum 150 routes. Josh Downs is tied for first in the entirety of football in targets per route run. That's what your wide receiver 18. Ready to call it again. Josh Downs is one of your skeleton keys for week 11 Underdog Battle Royale. Feels good. We're getting these done. We're getting these done early. Right now, we've got Jordan Love and Jayden Reed and Josh Downs. I'm not there yet with the running backs. I don't know exactly who our skeleton key at running back is going to be. It's probably going to be Kareem Hunt. Spoiler alert. It's a good question. I mean, Pittman's still going to be on the team, though, brother. Pittman is still going to be on the team, and Richardson's still going to be on the team. So if Richardson's still on the team and Pittman's still on the team, Mitchell is still basically a handcuff. That Josh Downs dropped touchdown last week did the opposite of feeding families. There was no family getting fed there. That was very unfortunate. But yeah, Downs will be one of the biggest risers in ADP. Who else is going to rise? Ridley will probably rise a little bit. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jennings rise a little bit. Shakir maybe. Waddle maybe. I know we just dude, that was sick, Nez. Nez, we were very close. What was it? We were 3 Keenan Allen receiving yards away for the all lowers. Joe Mixon lower, Montgomery lower, Pollard lower, Keenan lower, Russ Wilson, and Jonathan Taylor. Very, 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 very close, brother. Yeah, you can drop Worthy. In a 12-team, 16-man bench, you can drop him. I would not drop him in 20-man rosters. Yeah, they paid Pittman a lot, too. They did not pay him like nothing. Yeah, that was the Caleb throws for 120 yards and the Keenan higher hits. Brutal stuff. That's why we play the game, man. That's why we play the game. By the way, all of you who are YouTube members now, if you link your account to Discord, you will be able to join the Discord. I hope to see some of you in there. Bang! Here we get Achane. Beautiful. Fuck yeah. But Pete gave away all those YouTube memberships, and some of you have joined the Discord, but a bunch of you have the ability to get in the Discord and have not done so. So hop on in. And those of you who are watching who are not YouTube members, what are you doing, man? You don't want to hang out? You don't want to be a YouTube member? Achane, and this is going to be pretty non-unique combo, but let's do it anyway. Achane and Bijan. It's true. I mean, obviously, I'm not dropping Worthy because I would be so apoplectic to lose. It's true. You know what? I didn't think about that, but you very well could be poor from gambling, which I get it. I get it. Trust me. By the way, the vidIQ suggested titles for this video are great. What's holding you back from winning big in Underdog Battle Royale? Crush your fantasy football opponents with this Week 11 strategy. Can you win $40,000 in fantasy football with this one trick? Bro, I'd let you in. I posted after Pete did the YouTube membership giveaway, I posted the Discord link in the YouTube description or in the YouTube chat. I'm not trying to keep anyone out. I want more people in the Discord. We are yeah, only nerdy tenor has that sim. He built it himself. It is bespoke. No one else has access to that. Damn, Achane at 2 and Tyreek is gonna fall. Do you just do it? I mean, come on. Let's just do it and let's take Tua. Yeah. Because gamblers are not that turned on to Underdog yet. Underdog has so much room left to grow. A lot of room left to grow for Underdog. Yeah, he won 65K in NBA. Yeah, Nerdy Tenor knows math. Nerdy Tenor knows math. I mean, I think the same thing that I've thought about Dobbins the entire time. I don't like him as much as the field does. Okay, wow, we got the bring back with Bowers now. We are cooking. I think in a weird way, Tua and Achane might kind of positively correlate. Or not Tua and Achane and Tyreek, because it just means that McDaniel's in his bag. It means Tua's playing well. You know, it means the defense, like the biggest thing is like the Raiders could be the give up team. The Raiders could be the team that just show up in this spot. They're sick of Antonio Pierce. Like they just are. It's just all over. Like that's very possible. Not that I'm saying that's a reason to take them together, but I don't know, if you're doing 150 teams and Tua falls past ADP and you've got a weird combo, which this is, this Achane after ADP, Bijan basically at ADP, and then Tyreek after ADP is a weird combo. There won't be that many of them. And then you take Tua and you just hope that Tua throws 4 touchdowns, 1 to Achane, 1 to Waddle, 2 to Tyreek. Then I think you are chilling. Yeah, Underdog, you have to think about. You can't just press a couple buttons. I gotta say, Beastburf, I know you're lurking. I don't love the 3 wide receiver teams this week. Although Debo's basically a running back, so I'll give that to you. But I'm gonna guess Dan's computer has it as a pretty bad 3 wide receiver week, as it does basically every week. All right, who do we want? Who do we want as our second wide receiver here? Do we just do Downs again? Probably just do Downs. I got Bowers as the bring back here. All right, let's do Downs. This guy doesn't have a Dolphin, does he? Yeah, let's do Downs. Downs, man, don't you think where is Leone gonna have Downs projected for when the ETR stuff comes out on Wednesday? Leone and his friends over at Establish the Run are gonna have Downs as like the wide receiver 9 or something. Bang. Tua, Achane, Bijan, Tyreek, Downs, and Bowers. And I did see someone in the chat mention like, oh, you know, Achane, dude, the usage is so good, bro. 24% targets per route run, 70% of the targets. Like, the dude just cooks. I know the results were not that great last night. All right, welcome, Corey. Welcome. Well, yeah. I mean, Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers could definitely be a click. I probably won't do it, but if Jacoby Myers is going to be like 1% owned or whatever, which he probably will be, The draft caddy numbers, I need to... I have to reinstall the draft caddy. I'm on a new browser, new computer, so I need to reinstall the draft caddy. But I would be curious the ownership projection that the draft caddy would have. My guess is very low. All right, there we go. Now it's finally slowing down. We got into all these with no sweat. And now the people who are drafting with me, they've all given up. The thing is, it's just so hard to track this. Do you find that early drafts or late drafts perform better? Wondering if I should start doing some drafts earlier in the week. It depends on your skill set. Do you think you are good at knowing what the projections are going to be? Or do you think you're good at knowing where projections are going to be wrong? Where the projections might have a blind side? I think I'm probably slightly better earlier in the week at knowing kind of what the field's going to do, the types of players who tend to project well. I tend to be a little bit worse at being like, oh, well, this projection is wrong, or this is the right way to layer the projection in. So I sort of prefer to draft early in the week. I mean, actually, like, if look at the contents of this video, and you'll see that, I don't know, go back and so these projections, I do just have, these are all these RG projections are, it's last week's, or whenever these teams played last, it's their inputs from that game. So, you know, Cardi hasn't adjusted McCaffrey up or down, Kyron up or down, Bijan. It's just whatever the inputs were with the inputs of the team totals and the lines for a given week. So like they're extremely half baked. Now it doesn't mean they're worthless. I don't think they are, and it's probably better than just coming into Jay, I got no issue. I would drink raw milk, but I also here you go. One time only. I won't even make you guys be YouTube members. There's the Discord link right there. You can all come in. I'm woke to raw milk, but I also need you to acknowledge that pasteurization exists for a reason. I also just don't like milk in general, Jay. I'm not a milk drinker. The only thing I use milk for literally is to mix with my protein powder, which is also not very woke. But there you go. If you happen to be watching this live at 10:43 a.m. Central Time, 11:43 a.m. Eastern Time live, I did just post the Discord link in the description. I'm never going to get Justin Jefferson. You guys are never going to let me get Justin Jefferson. Sickening. Sickening stuff. I guess that's why you don't draft your BRs on stream. Because I know Myers knows. I know he's woke. All right. Well, it's more Derrick Henry teams than I planned on having. But Henry is going to project pretty well. So that would be an example. To go back to the drafting early versus late, I prefer to draft early. I definitely, as the season has gone on, am drafting a little bit. I'm drafting a little bit. I just got very confused. Let's do Kelce again. I'm just drafting a little bit less, basically. This is the point. This is what you're trying to do. You're just trying to get a ton of CLV. Yeah, you're giving up a ton of value in terms of not knowing injury news and things like that. But I think you're making up for it. Like, there's been many cases of these where we've just seen guys steam up. Like Breece Hall is going to go up in ADP. Ken Walker is going to go up in ADP. I don't know who an example at wide receiver. Downs and Jayden Reed are going to go up. No ADP chasing. There was a stream on my channel yesterday. Corinne and I streamed for like 2 hours. You can go watch that if you would like. And then the Swolecast is going to be immediately after this. Yeah, Joe Mixon, early draft that week. But yes, yeah, I mean this is paid is stating the correct point. You know what? Let's just go full into being a slappy. And let's take Pickens. Yeah, I like to draft on Monday. I like to draft on Tuesday. There is value. Honestly, I'll tell you the worst time to draft. The absolute worst time to draft is on Wednesday night and Thursday morning, right after the ETR projections drop. That's the worst time. Because then it's just all it is everyone showing off that they haven't established their own subscription. That's it. That's all they got. So just don't draft then. Yeah, there's never a day where I'm not clicking the buttons. Okay, so we have Henry, we have Pickens. Honestly, getting Allen on this, I mean, we got to just take this ADP value, right? I don't even like Josh Allen particularly this week, but maybe he runs 3. And let's do Josh Allen and just get the ADP value. We've got Allen, Henry. So we've got correlation there. Maybe this is the winner, bro. This is also true. It does help diversify your portfolio. Although I definitely got too diverse last week. Where I spread myself too thin last week. You can auto draft in NBA because there's no positional designations. Everyone's just a flex in NBA. So you're not giving up any positional value. You're just drafting off raw point projection. Yeah, I don't get my drafts thrown out all that often. I think I can't remember. Someone, maybe GA007 was posting last week. Like he had like a bunch of his drafts canceled, which sucks. Okay. On this one, let's do Josh Jacobs. I'm not clicking Josh Jacobs, bro. Let's click Ramondre Stevenson. The Ramondre Stevenson sim. There is strategy. There is strategy for NBA. But at the high level, this is what NBA BR is, but it's a bit more complex, just a bit. There's some stuff that you can do to get good combos and things. All right, we took Ramondre Stevenson. And you know what? Let's just go all out. Let's take Khalil Shakir and his dog water projection. Khalil Shakir. All right, boys. We are gonna do. Actually, no. We're gonna do the skeleton keys, and we are gonna get out of here because in 10 minutes we are gonna go do the Swolecast, and I don't want you guys to miss that. Skeleton keys this week. At quarterback, it's pretty simple. I think that we've got Jordan Love and Geno Smith as our top skeleton keys at quarterback. Both of them are going to be underdrafted relative to both their median and their ceiling projections. At running back, it is Achane and it is Kareem Hunt. That, again, feels very easy. I will give a nominal mention to DeAndre Swift as well. DeAndre Swift should not be the running back 23. He should not be 0% drafted. And the projections are for sure going to head that way. Wide receiver is even easier. Puka Nacua, Jayden Reed, and Josh Downs. Not sure how much easier it gets. I mean, Josh Downs, baby. I should have put Josh Downs on the cover. I couldn't find one of Josh Downs studying the tablet. And then at tight end, we have got Travis Kelce and Evan Engram. And you guys might be saying, Evan Engram, what do you mean, Evan Engram? The Evan Engram utilization, bro, you might not want it to be true, but it is true that he gets the ball at an elite amount. 28% targets per route run. I mean, that's got to bleed the NFL. Let's just clear that real quick. Minimum of 100 routes. That's got to, yeah, I knew it. I knew that was going to lead the NFL. So you can get the NFL leader in targets per route run undrafted. So the week 11 skeleton keys are Jordan Love and Jayden Reed, Geno Smith with one of his teammates, DK Metcalf, or Jackson Smith and Jigba, depending on how injury news shakes out, Devin Achane, Kareem Hunt, and DeAndre Swift, Puka Nacua, Jayden Reed, Josh Downs, Travis Kelce, and Evan Engram. Very straightforward. Those are going to be guys that I am all making a real effort to get underweight on in Battle Royale drafts. Remember, in like literally 3 minutes, no, probably more like 5 minutes, we are going to begin the Week 11 Swolecast. If you are watching this on replay, well, one, you did miss joining the YouTube member Discord. You never know. You never know when it's going to be your moment. No NBA drafts today. There will be. I'm working on something with Unabated, guys. We are going to have an NBA drafting show here on the channel, so stay tuned for that. Make sure that you guys tune into the Swolecast. Make sure that you guys, by the way, it would do me a great service if you guys would check out the TakeCast YouTube. If you guys would go over and subscribe to the TakeCast YouTube. It only has 368 subscribers compared to the 5,000 odd subscribers that we have on this channel. I would love if you guys would check that one out. That would be great for me if you could subscribe there. I would appreciate that. We are about to get out of here. We are going to go do the Swolecast with myself, David Kitchen, Peter Overzet, Soccer Dave, Mr. Tuttle 05. So go check that out. Come back and check the channel with Liam and I tomorrow. Keep drafting your skeleton keys. Good luck this week, and I will see you all over on the Swolecast channel in a few minutes. It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense